Hey guys, it's Calamity here with another video, and with the upcoming Yoimiya banner. One of the 4 stars on her banner is Yun Jin, and today's video we're just going to talk about if she is worth pulling. Alright, to start off, if you have a character that relies on normal attacks to do their damage, and a perfect example of that is the person on the banner, or at least coming up soon on the banner at the time of recording this video, is Yoimiya. Yoimiya relies solely on normal attack damage. That's how she does damage. She's just normal attacks. Yun Jin's burst boosts that damage. Purely just normal attack damage. So if you don't have Yoimiya, you might be wondering, okay, who else could I use? And, well, off the top of my head, there are characters like Yelan. Yelan is a great character that can take advantage of the boost as well if you're using her as a main DPS. Ayato, if you have him. It will not work with Raiden Shogun's sword because keep in mind, the burst, her sword mode is only burst damage, not normal attack damage. She will actually work with Child. His weapon, when he's in melee form, his attacks are considered normal attack damage. And that is also why the Rust is considered an okay free-to-play weapon for him, right? Other characters that you might have, but I'm probably forgetting, are even characters like if you're doing like a DPS Barbara, for example. Razor can benefit from normal attack damage increase. Noelle, also another character that can benefit from the boost from Yun Jin. So, how does she work? And, like, we'll talk about building her and all this stuff. So, this is her normal attack string. She has a very fancy attack string. It's a big shame, though, that it is also not that great. So, we're going to move on to her other talents, her elemental skill, and then her burst is simply the buff. It does some damage, but that's not why you're using it. You're doing it for the buff that it provides your team, which again increases just normal attack damage. So her skill is a little bit similar to Beto's. You can tap it, and it's a quick hit like that, and you'll generate some energy particles, right? There is a hold version of it, so you can hold it down. And when you do it, like, you'll do more damage and generate more energy, I believe. Now, the skill itself has 2 levels, so doing a quick tap is basically just level 1, and then if you do a longer charge, you'll do level 2, and as you can see on the skill multipliers, level 2 obviously does more damage. But she is very similar to Beto, as I mentioned earlier, because of this one talent called True to Oneself. So if you time her elemental skill at the right moment that you are hit, you will actually get a free level 2 elemental skill right off the bat. No charge needed. You'll get it instantly. Beto has the same thing, right? If you time her elemental skill just right, you'll do more damage. And then we move on to the burst, which is this is what makes Yun Jin, basically. So basically, she will increase your normal attack damage by 51% of your defense. Keep in mind, this is at level 8, so you can actually get a little bit more if you decide to go level 9 or even crown this talent if you want to maximize your damage potential. It also has a trigger quota, so for characters that attack really, really fast, like Yoimiya, and who can definitely get more attacks in before the 12-second duration ends, you have a limit of 30 attacks before needing to refresh the buff by casting the burst again. So that is basically how Yoimiya that is basically how Yun Jin works. That is her, like, goal, or that is her kit. She buffs your main DPS's normal attack damage by a significant amount. Moving on, she is a very, very easy character to build. She doesn't need a 5-star weapon or anything crazy. In fact, I only have a Favonius Lance on her. We choose the Favonius Lance because it gives her energy recharge, And with a bit of crit rate, again, you don't have to go hard on this. She can even get even more energy when she uses her skill. Now you have a chance for that, so it's not always going to be consistent, but it's nice to have. And this is a 4-star weapon, and I'm sure many of you have this weapon just from doing regular pulls on the character or even the weapon banners. Artifacts. Now, the best one is going to be the Husk of Opulent Dreams. However, if you do not have access to Inazuma's domains yet, or you haven't finished exploring everywhere, a Noblesse Oblige set is also great for her. You can also do the Archaic Petra set is also a somewhat valid option, although that domain sucks to run. But it is something you can choose to do, but in the end, once you like have everything unlocked, you're going to want to go with the Husk of Opulent Dreams because it gives you flat 30% defense. And so yeah, this 4-piece set basically just gives you more defense. The geo damage is nice, but not necessary for Yun Jin. Again, we're not using her because she does damage, we're using her because she buffs. And then when you're actually looking for your substats on your artifacts, for once, you actually just want defense percent and flat defense. And then some energy recharge. And if you are using a Favonius Lance, then some crit rate is helpful, but not necessary. Like, my crit rate's 41%, and you might be thinking, wow, that's a lot. Well, she gets most of it because we just have a crit rate, crit rate circlet. So, easy to just grab a chunk of crit rate there. And then the rest are just from substats. So if you look at, Goblet, defense percent. And then we have some energy recharge. This one has some elemental mastery, which is a waste, but it is what it is. I mean, we could always just farm for more if you're not happy with how your artifact substats turned out. Crit rate there. And then here again, defense percent with a good chunk of energy recharge there. Plume, defense, flat, and some energy recharge. That could definitely be better. And then this one looks like a damage. This looks like a DPS's flower here, but it also has energy recharge and flat defense. So you see, it's really easy to build her. Just defense, 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 and energy recharge for the most part. Constellations. She is definitely worth C6ing because all it does is make her buff even give more potential. So C1 reduces her elemental skill by 18 or CD by 18%, which is just great. It means you get to do your skill more often, more chances to proc your Favonius Lance, and just more chances to refill your burst. Great constellation. Her C2 basically gives you 15% additional normal attack damage increase for 12 seconds. This is the same duration as her buff. So on top of that, you're also getting, on top of her buff, you're also getting a 15%. You can see I don't even have her at C6, or even I only have her at C1, and I still think she is an amazing support character, and I still use her quite frequently with my Yoimiya as well as other characters like Child. C3 is just +3 here. Obviously, that's gonna be nice for your burst because you'll just get more value out of the buff. C4 is pretty easy to trigger because all you have to do is crystallize an enemy. So as long as you use her elemental skill on a enemy affected by either hydro, pyro, cryo, or electro, they will drop a crystal, pick it up, you'll get the crystallized reaction. Actually, you just get the crystallized reaction just from hitting them. And then when the crystals are made, that's the reaction right there. Anyways, when you do this, you get straight up a free 20% increase to your defense for 12 seconds. So perfect timing. You do your skill, you get this increased defense, pop your buff, and off you go. This one's not so great because it's just more levels to your skill. Again, the skill does some damage if you manage to get a good counter or you charge it up to level 2, but not really necessary. I mean, if you're just going to quickly get some energy, just easier just to switch to her. use your skill, then switch if you don't have your burst yet. C6, this is probably her best constellation. So when you're under the effect of her buff, her burst, you will get your normal attack speed will be increased by 12%. Now this is actually pretty huge because this will also stack with other attack speed increases. There aren't many in the game. But yeah, this is a rare form of actually having attack speed increase in Genshin Impact. So this means your Yoimiya is going to be going through her set of attacks faster, your Ayato is going to be getting more value out of the buff, etc, etc. This is great. If you can get it, go for it. But keep in mind, she is a 4-star character. So, you know, even if you don't get all the constellations in one banner, she will be showing up again sooner or later in the future. One last thing I forgot to mention is she has one talent here where they try to sort of incentivize you to bring other elemental types. Because for each different elemental type, Yun Jin will get a bonus to her defense. So if you have 4 different elemental types in the party, you will get almost a 12%. It's 11.5% increase to her defense. And if you look at my own Yun Jin's defense, she only has 1740. Now, that's not even a lot. And if you guys saw my substats for my artifacts, you saw that I could definitely do better. And I can get some more artifacts that rolled either higher defense percentages or just higher flat defense. And like, I would say 2k is definitely something you can achieve with Yun Jin, especially with all these extra ways to get defense on her. So that's not something that's like impossible or even crazy. I would say my Yun Jin's on the lower end of the spectrum in terms of defense. But yeah, that is basically Yun Jin in a nutshell. I think she's a great character. Again, a niche support, but really good at what she does. If you have a character that can take advantage of her buff, pull for her. She is going to be a great asset, and she is really fun if you can land that elemental skill with your enemy's attacks, because getting a level 2 is just very satisfying. Just like Beidou, if you can get those counters in, you're gonna do big damage and you're gonna get that extra energy, especially if you're a Favonius Lance procs. But like I said, very easy character to build, very easy character to play, and she works with a lot of different characters, as we mentioned before. So just if you have a question about which characters will work well with her, feel free to ask in the comments down below, and I'll try my best to answer. Other than that, thank you guys for watching. Good luck on your pulls if you're going to pull for Yun Jin or Yoimiya, and I'll see you in the next one.